This is Josh Wright here, 4 seconds out. Delighted today to be joined by Jazza Dickens here over Zoom. Jazza, really appreciate your time. And how is everything, first of all?
Very good, Josh. Hope you're well yourself, my mate. Camp's all finished out here, so I'm just having a bit of a rest, eh? But yeah, good to speak to you.
Very good to speak to you as well. Glad to hear that you're resting up now ahead of a very big week coming up. You fight on away soil in Turkey for the WBA Interim Super Featherweight World title as well as the IBA Super Featherweight title as well. Uh, First of all, how did the opportunity come about to fight over in Turkey?
No, what, Josh? I got myself back into a position after the Zelfa Barra fight, whereas now I'm ranked in the top 10 of the world with the WBA due to winning the WBA into something with the WBA ranking. So the WBA put me back in the top 10. And then my team behind the scenes went to work then and put this fight together. So it's a fantastic opportunity for me. I was very, very grateful that my team behind the scenes, I'm sure it wasn't easy, put it together and put a lot of hours into making this fight happen. And they came up with the goods. So I was very, very pleased and grateful to be in this position. Yeah.
Just before we continue to talk about what's coming up, which is why we go and look back at that Zelfa Barrett fight. A night where a lot of fans were overlooking you and didn't really and kind of expected a routine win for Zelfa Barrett, but you went and spoiled Matchroom's plans of hopefully delivering the world title shot for him, but now you get the world title shot instead. How much confidence has that fight given you moving forward?
No, what Josh did nothing really because I've seen the outcome before I went in, so it doesn't really change my mindset. You know what I mean? But I could see how it was supposed to go, and it went appreciated that it didn't roll over like an hard carpet. You know, Eddie got in the ring after every fight. Before the fight, Eddie was making online claims about making the Ray Ford self about a fight. After the fight, Eddie Hearn got into the ring to do an interview with every single fighter apart from me. Now in the midst of the fight, as he was screaming for Zelfa to come on, basically just knock him out. And I was thinking, bloody hell, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Am I really coming spoil the plans that much? You know what I mean? And it's I think he's off the ball there by choosing me to fight there against Zelfa. Now Zelfa, I don't think I should take anything away from Zelfa. I just believe he was too big for the weight, and I knew that going into the fight. Sometimes it's the thing, Josh, where you are too big for the weight and you need to move up. But what happens is you come into the top 10 of the world rankings. You can't just move up now because you work so hard to get yourself in that position. It's just so hard. It's like a bit of a bottleneck. You're sort of stuck, and it's often a loss that makes you move up, like it has happened to me. And when that happened to me when I got knocked out with the IBO featherweight title, I was just too big for the weight, and like unfortunately for me, my worst night was live on the telly, and I think that's why people were judging me on the back of that fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good little night, good win, good for me and the team. We knew where we were going to end up after that fight. So yeah, it's nice that it's playing out, and you can fight all you want, you can beat who you want, but if unless you've got a good team around you, you can put the fights together. Then that's what it's all about. So thank you, massive thank you to my team.
I find it interesting that you mentioned also about Zelfa being too big for the weight. I spoke to him a few weeks ago, and he said the exact same thing. You know, he wanted to move up. He should have moved up a while ago, but
Yeah,
because he held that ranking, he wanted to stay where he was because of how close he was to a world title shot. Do you think
yeah.
there should maybe be like a position where he could possibly move up, not get the exact ranking that he's got, but still get some form of compensation from the WBA to enter the rankings?
Yeah, that's a good question. That because it'll just be exploited like everything else is in boxing. So if I was like mandatory for how can it be compensated? Because it give fighters, a lot of fighters and a lot of managers around the fighters a chance to duck and you just start saying, oh, he's too big for the weight, give me that compensation. You know what I mean? I don't in compensation, yeah, I think he should be given a buy. I don't think he should be judged on that.
Hmm.
I don't think you should be judged on it because judge him on his next performances, give him another one, see if he's telling the truth. If he's finished, he's finished. If he's not, then you know what it was, and I honestly believe that is a new link up with Joe Gallagher, based on all his understanding, all his experience that he's had with his uncle Pat, and now going to Joe Gallagher. I think that it's going to put him in good stead, and you'll see a different, even better version of Zelfa Barrett.
Absolutely. Going back to the fight coming up, you take on, forgive me if I butcher the name, but Albert Batyrgaziev, I believe. He's an undefeated professional at 12-0 as well as an Olympic gold medalist. When you look through the fights that you've had in your career now, where do you feel he ranks in terms of those toughest fights?
Uh, Stylistically, it's different as well. So you have those two lists. And I mean, stylistically, whether it's and then there's like people who've achieved great things. I've fought some good fighters, really good fighters. Do I believe he's the best fighter I've ever fought? I can't really. look from the outside going into it, I'm going to say no because of the fighters that I have fought. But I can only tell you that in hindsight, some fighters have subtle things that you don't look too good on the outside, and when you get in there with them, you think, how's he landing that? And you could be the same. You have this awkwardness about you or whatever. So it's a bit hard to call that. So I'm going to give him the utmost respect going into the fight and say he's the best fighter I've ever fought because I have to be the best fighter I'm going to be to win the title. So I was I would just sort of play it like that. I say he's one of the best I'll ever fight. So give him that respect and I'll take him 100%.
Where do you feel your advantages will lie on the night when you step in the ring against him?
But that's another one there, Josh. You go in with your plan, and it's like sometimes it's like you don't know, you know what I mean? And sometimes if you're smart enough, you have a look, you realise that wow, he's really flawed in that area. He's done this, and this, but he's never learned this. And you can see your experience meets their experience sometimes, and then it just gels and it goes a certain way, and the fans are watching, thinking, "What's going on here? Why is everything unraveling like this?" And sometimes that is just experience. I think that I would have to depend on my experience as a fighter. Whilst he was a man fighting boys in the amateur system, I was a boy fighting men in the pro game. So I would say that my years of experience as a pro.
Absolutely. And where will a win on the night rank in terms of the best wins of your career, in your opinion?
Uh, that's another same one there. What you say about like it has to be two lists. You know what I mean? You would say having the IBA and the WBA interim on the same night. That would be the biggest achievement that I've done in terms of what I've achieved from the fight. But then there's other fights that I've won as well, where you say like he went on to do well. He went on to do well, probably beating about five different names who've gone on to win a world title. And if you look back in history, you say, bloody hell, you beat him, you beat him, you beat him. But then again, it's like I don't know. It'd definitely be up there. Yeah.
And obviously, you say it'll be up there. How can fans come over and watch, obviously, over in Turkey? Will you have a lot of support coming over?
Yeah, and it's so probably ibaboxing.com, ibaproboxing.com, and that's where they can get the tickets from. So it's on a Wednesday. I think the kids are going to be broken up from school. There's a lot of people coming over. It's in Turkey. It's going to be a great event. And not only is it a boxing event, it's going to be loads of big names there. The who's who of boxing is going to be there. And there's also the who's who of like celebrities and stuff like that, people outside of our realm. And when would you get a chance to rub shoulders with these people? And, it's going to be an amazing event. I'm very, very excited. It's a shame that I won't be there today and rub shoulders with these people. I'll be the one in the ring all night taking punches. But yeah, it's going to be some night.
Well, see, I'm sure you'll be able to rub shoulders with them all after the event. When you look through the list of names and the list of names that we've been hearing, names like Will Smith, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Terence Crawford, some of the not just the biggest names in boxing, but some of the biggest names in the world. How does that make you feel knowing that obviously they're coming over and you're going to be the main event of the night, you're going to be the one that they're watching? How does that make you feel?
Doesn't make me feel nothing really, because if it did, I'd just go right into my ego and start calling Will Smith my mate and all that. Me and my mate Will and all that. So I just try and stay away from that, you know what I mean? I see it as an event and I say to people, wow, look who's there, you know what I mean? So if I send that to my mates in the group chat, or if I send that to my bed or whatever, yeah, they'll say, turn it in, not bed, you know what I mean? What do you want me to say? Oh, you're gonna be there with Will Smith, you know what I mean? So that's just the way it is in my world. So yeah, but I was very excited when I seen the other day like Bud Crawford's going to be there and stuff like that, because as a boxing man, it's these are the people I look up to and stuff like that. I'm not idolize people, but I think look what he's achieved and stuff like that. He's going to be going to fight with Canelo, like the big names AJ and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's an amazing event, and very, very blessed. I am blessed just to be in that situation.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck going into it. Just while I've still got you, I want to get your thoughts on just a few fights around your weight division. Sticking in super featherweight for now. Anthony Cacace he's taken on Ray Ford on August 16th in Riyadh. How do you see that fight playing out?
Um, I think Hanso's going to do the business, depending on his desire to do the business. What's his incentive there? He's won a world title, so does he want to go on and unify world titles? Does he want to make a lot of money? Has he got that motivation, or is he cashing in on what he's achieved? Because even if he is, then fair play to him. But has he got that desire? If he has, I think that and so will win that fight. I hope he wins that fight. But Ray Ford's a very good fighter too, so it's a hard one to call that.
We've seen a lot of fans kind of dismiss Anto's chances since the fight's been announced. How big of a chance do you give Ant, obviously, if it is a fully motivated Anthony Cacace?
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I didn't realize. I don't really look into what the fans are saying. See how I see it myself.
Mm.
I see his form going into it. If you were Anto Kakachi, look at the form, the fighters that he's been going into that fight. That's what I see it as. How would you know? Think this is just another opponent. You know what I mean? It'd be better people than him. That's how I'd see it. So I don't know. Yeah, like I say, if he is fully most 100% Anto Kakachi, I think we'll beat 100% Ray Ford. You know, I really do. Although he's a good fighter, I'm not dismissing Ray Ford here, by the way, because yeah, he's a really good fighter too.
On the same card, we do see Nick Ball return against Sam Goodman, who was set to face Naoya Inoue back in December and January, but was forced out due
Was
to
he?
injury. Yeah, I think he was ruled out due to a cut in the end, in sparring. Um, I, Sam Goodman's now moving up to 126
Oh,
instead.
Goodman was going to fight in New Age. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, did you think I meant Nick Ball set to
yeah,
fight you?
sorry.
Oh,
I
no,
didn't
no,
hear
no,
that
no.
about that.
No, obviously Sam Goodman moving up in weight now after not being able to finalize those Inoue fights. How do you see Nick Ball getting on against undefeated Sam Goodman?
I've never seen him, Josh. I don't know. I don't
Mm.
know. I couldn't really tell you, but I can tell you Nick Paul's a very good fighter, and it's on the Saudi card, you tell me. So he's got experience being out there on the Saudi. Probably become a bit of a home for him, you know, and they want him back and stuff like that. I think that I expect him to do a job on the fella and bring that world title back to Liverpool, and like he did last time, put another big, amazing event on for our city.
Obviously, you mentioned Saudi becoming a bit of a home for him. Turki Al-Sheikh has always stated interest in wanting to make Inoue versus Nick Ball. We've seen a bit of back and forth between them now after Nick Ball's last fight against TJ Dehaney. If Ball and Inoue are to ever meet, how who do you make the favourite first of all?
Don't watch boxing, Josh. I don't know, you know.
Shit.
So if I was to give you an honest answer there, based on never seen, I've seen Nick Ball fight once against Ray Vargas,
Okay.
and I've never seen Inoue fight. So I'd be guessing there, wouldn't I? I'd be just going by the bookies, you know, and what people say. I know what people say about
Mm.
Inoue being the monster and he's unstoppable and stuff like that. But then you got to look at the other side of it, haven't you? Like he's going up and up and up a weight. It's going to catch him at some point. So
Mm.
if anyone's going to catch you at some point, it'll probably be Nick Ball. Hopefully, you know, I hope that fight gets made, yeah, because Nick Ball would be in a better position than anyone before him fighting anyway, as he's come so many weights and he's established champion at that weight.
Absolutely. Just one last one. Have you got any messages to the fans, people supporting ahead of next Wednesday?
Yeah, thank you so much for all the support, all my sponsors, all my team, everyone at the Golden Gym out here who've hosted me in Dubai, my team behind the scenes who put the fight together, everyone's going to be travelling out here, my family and friends who've sacrificed with me, my coach Albert, everyone really, just everyone knows the part that they played. It's a team effort, so thank you very, very much, and I'll see you all there.
Absolutely. Jazza, you're a top man. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Josh.
Best of luck next week. We look forward to seeing you bring the belts home. Thank you.
Mate, thank you.